A clip from the new Superman movie is making the rounds on social media right now, and a lot of people are giving their opinions on it. A lot of people really don't like it, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. First off, though, spoiler alert, if you have not seen the movie, I'll be getting into spoilers. Granted, the movie's been out for over a month and it's already on digital, so if you care about spoilers and you haven't seen already, what are you doing? But I'm a nice guy, so there's your warning. Without further ado, let's get into it. First off, I want to say I am not going to be showing the clip because I don't want to get copyright striked, but you can Google it and find it. It's on Twitter, it's everywhere. Go find it. Anyways, this clip takes place at the end of the movie. It's after the big battle. Superman's going to confront Lex Luthor, and he gives him this speech. He tells him about how he's as human as anyone he loves. He gets scared, and he ends the speech by telling Lex that his greatest strength is being human, and he hope he realizes that is Lex's greatest strength too. I like the speech. I thought it was good. A lot of people think it's stupid and it's talking directly to the audience and that it doesn't make sense and it's just treating the audience like they're a bunch of idiots. I don't get that. It is talking to the audience a little bit, but in universe, it really makes sense because if you have the context of the whole film, which also I'll say, I think a lot of people complaining about this don't have the context of the whole film, also don't care because when the movie came out, I saw a lot of people praising the speech on Twitter, and now people are saying it's bad. And some people are like, oh, well, why is everyone turning on it now? Because it's been a month, so everyone's turning on it. I don't think it's necessarily people turning on it. There's a little of that. But I think it's more people that never saw the movie are now seeing the clip and are like, that's dumb, that's stupid. And it's like, okay, you're seeing this one clip in isolation. That's it. But anyways, the context of it is earlier in the movie, the message from Jor-El and Laura got leaked all over the world by Lex, and in it, the elves essentially say, hey, Kal-El, we're sending you to Earth. You're a superior being to them. Do whatever you got to do. Show them how superior Krypton is. Get a harem. Do whatever. And so it's not a good message. It's not a fun message to hear if you're a human. And so then essentially everyone just views Superman as this unfeeling alien that's nothing like them, that is there to conquer and take over and have this weird harem. And so yeah, that's the context of this speech, because now he's trying to tell everyone that, hey, I'm not like this, because he's not talking just to Lex Luthor, but also he's talking to all of Lex's cronies, because he's in Lex's HQ there at the end, and everyone that's been helping Lex kill Superman or attempt to kill Superman in this movie is there. So when he's talking to Lex, he's also sort of broadcasting this to those people to be like, hey, if you're brainwashed by Lex's rhetoric, I'm not like this. I am just a normal guy. I'm not some crazy weird alien. And so I liked it, and I thought it made sense, and he finally got to get it off his chest because Superman went through a lot in this movie, so it makes sense for him to, at the end, like, finally get this big speech off his chest and really be like, I just want to get it out there. And also kind of, like, just let it be known, you know? I feel like that's what this speech was for. Now, is it talking to the audience? A little bit. I saw some people also commenting on this and being like, oh, this is because of what Snyder did to Superman, what Justice did to Superman. Kind of, but also if you've been a Superman fan for a while like I have, you know that people viewed Superman like this prior to that. People had negative opinions for Superman long before Snyder or Injustice, because you had Dark Knight Returns. People saw Superman as some stupid government stooge. You had the Superman the Animated Series, like that crossover with New Adventures of Batman, where Superman just got treated like a bitch and got his girl stolen by Batman and got beat up by Batman and was just seen as just a terrible hero. And just all over, people viewed Superman as, oh, he's just this boring guy. He's not interesting. He's not cool. He's bland. He's just impervious. He's like a god. Who cares? How could I ever relate to that? That was how people viewed Superman long before Injustice or Snyder did anything. Injustice and Snyder did not help. Neither of those helped the case for Superman, but it was long before that Superman had issues for the global people that, if you did anything other than read Superman comics, generally speaking, you had this opinion of, oh, Superman's pretty boring. Why would I ever care about that guy? So I feel like this speech was kind of a little bit at those people, being like, hey, Superman's not like that at all. He's actually a normal guy. So it's a little bit, but for the most part, I felt it actually just worked in universe, and it was just for the purpose of how the movie goes. It wasn't necessarily just to be like, hey, directly you, audience member, I'm telling you the point of the movie. I didn't really get that. I don't think it was that. So I don't get all the complaints there. Now, is there precedent for this in the comics? Absolutely. If you've read comics, you know comic characters love the monologue, and sometimes that's the best part of the comic. And it's been done in Superman a lot. And Superman Up, and Away at the end, Superman essentially says something similar to what he says at the end of the speech to Lex here. He tells Lex that he could do so much more and be so much more, because in the context of that story, it was after Infinite Crisis. So Superman lost his powers and had been gone for a year. He was just Clark Kent. And during that time, Lex continued to be a pretty bad guy. So his excuse of, I would do so much for humanity if Superman wasn't in my way, didn't hold up because Superman was gone for a year and he didn't do anything. So at the end, when he fights Lex and he's telling him, he's like, you could be so much more and do so much more, essentially being like, you could really help humanity if you actually tried, but you don't because you're a bad guy. And that's kind of like at the end of this speech where he's like, you could really help humanity if you really actually focused that hatred that you have and turned it into passion for humanity because you're a human too. That's kind of similar. And then we also have Action Comics 900, where at the end of that story, you have Lex, he bonds with this like being from the Phantom Zone, and it makes him all powerful, completely powerful. And he's talking to Superman, and he's making him relive these horrific moments because he's like, Superman, you've never felt anything bad in your entire life. I'm going to try to make you feel some bad things. So first off, I'm going to make you feel bad like your friends have felt. So he replays the death of Superman when Doomsday killed him, be like, now you know how bad it feels. I'm giving you the feelings that Lois and Jimmy had that day. And he also replays Krypton exploding. He's like, feel that. And then Superman talks to him. He's like, Lex, I know what it's like to lose. I know what it's like to lose people and to feel loss. And he's like, just if you really want to know, look in my mind and I'll show you. So Lex peers into Superman's mind. But first, as he's going to peer into his mind, he's like, this is probably going to be like the death of some planet or a universe or something. And then he just sees John Kent's death. So this is what took place during Superman Brainiac, the story from Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, where at the end, Pa Kent has a heart attack, and that's what replays here. And when Lex sees that, he's like, wait, those are the Kents. And he knows they're the Kents because he grew up in Smallville. So he's like, those are the Kents. That would mean, wait, you're Clark. And it just breaks his brain. So then he pivots to, you've been mocking humanity this whole time by pretending to be one of us. And he just pivots, and it's like, and Clark tries to explain, like, no, dude, I'm Clark Kent. This is who I am. And it's great. It's a really nice moment. It's really cool. And it, again, mirrors something like this, where he's showing Lex that he is human. He's not some unfeeling alien. And so, yeah, I liked the moment at the end. I thought it was one of the best parts. The part I don't like is the fact that Crypto ruins it and we get a funny gag. That's what I hated. That was very James Gunn and annoyed the crap out of me because I thought that was a great moment. I was like, yes, now Lex is going to fire back because Lex starts. And it's like, oh, Lex is going to have another speech. I live for Lex's speeches, so I'm excited. And then Crypto comes in and it's silly, funny, goofy mode. It's like, But that being said, prior to that, I liked the speech. And also, it's something that James Gunn had said in the press tour leading up to this movie, where he said he wanted this movie to be sincere because he feels like a lot of comic book movies aren't very sincere. They're very nihilistic or like too funny in a lot of ways and not trying to be sincere. Like, for instance, in Spider-Man, remember when Doc Ock tells him his name? Like, I'm Dr. Octavius. And they're like, oh, seriously, what's your real name? Because they're afraid to be sincere and like comic booky. And in this, they're not afraid of that. Like, Superman gives his speech and it's meant to be sincere. Like, they know, because if you're sincere, it can come off as cheesy, but it's still sincere. And that's kind of what the speech comes off. It's cheesy, but it's sincere. Superman means every word of it. And the speech isn't played off as a goof or a gaffe or something funny. It's meant to be sincerely Superman in what he feels and how he views himself. And how he views Lex, because he talks about how Lex could do good. I like it. I like it a lot. I think that's one of the best parts of the movie. That being said, if you want to see my full thoughts on the movie, I did a review when it came out, going all into spoilers and everything, so I'll have that linked if you want to check it out. I like the movie. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a good first step for the DCU, but I definitely have my problems with it, and I talk about it in that review, so check that out if you're interested. And yeah, I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What do you think about this scene? Do you think it works? Do you think it's bad? What are your thoughts? Really want to hear from you guys. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.